Not only do your clients need time off, but you need the time off so you can fully show up for them again in January. And remember that rest is a strategy. It's not a reward. It's a strategy. And you don't have a rest because you have or haven't earned it. It's part of being human and looking after yourself.
If you're tired, your cognitive power isn't there, you could be missing things. I want to reiterate the importance of resting and recovering, not only for yourself, but so you can show up strong for yourself again in 2026 and for your clients.
Welcome to today's episode of Business Growth Lab. I'm your co-host, Samantha Riley, here almost the end of the year with my husband and partner in crime. There we go. I said it. Leon, how are you?
Thank you. Yeah, I feel a bit left out if you don't say partner in crime.
Well, what's so funny is I co-host another podcast and we recorded on last week on Wednesday, and my co-host has no idea that we've been talking about this on this show. And she's like, "Here's Sam, my partner in crime." I'm like, "Okay, so it's not just me."
So it's like some kind of crime syndicate. Anyways.
Exactly, which it is not. Absolutely not. It's almost Christmas. Christmas in a couple of days. Today we want to talk about closing loops so that you can completely switch off and start 2026 clean. Because right now, I think most of us have finished or we're trying to get things finished. It's not about, sprinting till, the end of the year, but it is around a plan. Like you do need a plan, you do need completion, and we're going to talk about why today. So,
Yeah.
I think that at this time of year, and we've been seeing it for a couple of weeks, haven't we, Leon? People are really
Yeah.
tired. And I actually think, we're tired because it has been a big year. But I think the other part that plays in is psychologically, we know it's the end of the year and our brain's like, "Oh, come on, are we there yet?" It's like when you book your holidays in at work and that week before, those couple of days before the holidays feel like they go
Yeah,
forever.
it's like a wind down, isn't it?
Totally, totally. And I think that that is part of it. But the reason I think people are so tired is not because we've been physically pushing through things. I think it's because our brain is constantly processing. Like our brain hasn't shut down. And I think right now, if we don't close the loop, if we don't make sure things are finished, if we don't get them out of our head, the next few weeks, instead of like really shutting down, switching off so that we can rejuvenate, so that we can reset, it's like our brain will keep thinking about those things. And it's really, really important to close those loops because you can't rest when your nervous system still thinks you're behind. So, today we're going to talk really quickly about some of those things that you can do to close those loops so you can absolutely switch off.
Yeah, yeah. And like you said, we've been seeing this and hearing this, and everyone's already going, have we finished it? And they're trying to check out, but I don't think they've closed the loop. And I think that's
Yep.
where the problem comes in.
Yeah. We're carrying so much mental load 24/7. With our clients, we constantly talk about 2 a.m. problems, which are the problems that their prospects have when they're lying in bed and staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. But it's not just our prospects that have those. We have them as well, right?
Hmm.
Everyone has
Yep.
those things that wake them up in the middle of the night and they're thinking, "Oh my goodness, like whatever it is, I've got to get that BAS completed. I haven't got back to the accountant. Oops, I haven't checked back in with that prospect. I haven't delegated XYZ." Like the list is endless, right? So we need to make sure that we close those loops so that we reduce that mental load, because those open loops, they cost attention, they cost energy. Like even if you're not actively working, your brain's still going. Like I don't know about you, but I'm so ready for a pajama day. And I do not want to be thinking about business one little tiny bit.
Yeah, yeah.
I love pajama day, that in that Christmas New Year period where I do not get out of my pajamas. I drink wine in the middle of the day and I'm unapologetic about it. I don't actually cook properly. I just pick on whatever I feel like eating all day. I watch movies, I read books, I do whatever like whatever I damn well want to do. That's what I do on pajama day. And I do it unapologetically. So I want to make sure all the loops are closed because I don't want to be thinking about business.
Yep. Yeah. Now, I was chatting to a good friend of mine yesterday about this and the importance of pajama day. And pajama day can mean many things to many people. For you, it's a good book and pajamas and lounge and
Hmm.
just chilling out and not doing, well, much at all, really.
Yep.
And if that wine is involved, then excellent.
Hey, look, wine is always involved with me. Let's face it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
Depending on who you are, it means different things to different people. So for me, I could be tinkering in the garage all day
Yeah.
and happily doing that. But it's having, like you said, that closing those loops so you can go and do that without stressing about everything else. And I think way back when we actually worked in corporate, well, I worked in corporate, you didn't work in corporate for like 30 something years,
No.
but there's that point when it gets a Friday afternoon and you clock off for the week and then you don't think about work until Monday. It needs to be like that. Close the loop. Don't think about it.
I was going to say, I actually don't know, but I believe you.
Maybe it was when you're 17 or something like that. Anyway,
Yeah.
but at that point where you stop thinking about it, and it's not that you don't care about it, and it's not that
No.
you don't love what you do, you need to rest your brain. So,
Yeah.
close the
You
loop
do need
and
to rest your brain. Completion creates
Yep.
calm. Calm creates clarity, and clarity creates momentum. So it's about really resting over the break so that we can go into 2026 on the right foot. And I shared this story with our clients a few weeks ago. When we think about fitness, like you and I do weight training every week, multiple times, we both, I would say we don't have athletic bodies, but want to have athletic bodies. So we're working really hard towards athletic bodies. But to create a muscle or to build muscle, to have hypertrophy, it's actually not the lifting weights that creates that. It's actually the rest after the weight training. So think about that in your business. It's that we're doing things all the time, but if we don't have the rest, that's where we don't have that repair, because it's that repair that builds the muscle, right? It's you're lifting weights, you're getting those little small tears in your muscle, and it's that rest period that where the little tears repair themselves, and that's where the hypertrophy comes from. Well, it's exactly the same in our business. We need to have that time off to create the rejuvenation ready to go into the new year. So let's talk about let's call it the loop closing sprint. And this is just a really short framework so that right now you can just tick these boxes either mentally or for real if they haven't been closed, so that you can absolutely just switch off, eat the cheese, drink the wine, spend time with your family and friends, and not even think about business. Unless you want to, of course. Like if you're happy to work over the break, then that's fine. But I honestly think it's so important to completely take time off.
Yeah. So during the year, you might have noticed that sometimes you don't feel motivated enough.
Mm.
And I think what the problem may be is not the motivation, it's the fact that you're not resting as you go along. So,
Mm.
yes, we're talking about resting over the Christmas break, but I think during the year, you might have noticed this as well. So, this is something that you might need to consider as you go during the year. So, it's not just for Christmas. But
Hmm.
more importantly, right now, Christmas is coming. It's very, very close. And if you're listening to this, this should be coming out on, I think, the day before Christmas Eve, I think it is. So, yeah, it's time for you to tick those boxes and close those loops. And this is something I've seen you do, and this is quite funny but kind of cool, is add the things that you've already kind of done to your task list so you can tick the box. So-
I do that. I know. I've actually told a few people I do that, and I thought I was the only one. I'm actually not the only one. So
oh,
if
wow.
I do
Cool.
something, I'll
I
add
think
it
it's
to the
awesome.
to-do list just so I can cross it off.
Yeah,
Uh,
micro wins, right? Micro wins.
Absolutely, absolutely. But you know what? At this time of year, I'm not even doing that. I just want to get this stuff done so that I can just shut the book, shut the laptop. So let's jump into the framework. And number one is close what you can in 10 minutes or less. So this is what's sitting in your inbox that's going to take you 2 or 3 minutes just to close off so that it's dealt with, you've pressed send and you can shut your laptop. And if someone gets back to you, it really doesn't matter. It can be dealt with after send that last invoice or pay your invoice. Both of those are just as important. It's not just about sending your invoices to be paid, but if you've got payments that are outstanding, close them off. They will live rent free in your head. If there are appointments that need to be booked so that you're starting next year fresh, just get it done so that you don't forget about it. Confirm anything that's sitting in your calendar or delegate the thing. And it might not even be that you're delegating it to get it completed before Christmas. It might just be that you're delegating it now so it's out of your head. So everything that stays in your head is mental load. It's living there rent free. So get it all out. So all of those little 10-minute things, I mean, some of them are only like 2-minute things. Get them out of your head. So have a look at what you've still got left to do and what is the fastest. Yes, I've done that. No, I haven't. Or yes, I need to do that. No, I don't need to do that. Or it's done that you can give right now.
Yeah. Sometimes you can just, grab your big notepad and make a quick list so you can see what the quick jobs are because, if you're working it through in your head, you don't necessarily realize what the 2-minute jobs are to quickly
Mm,
grab all those. Because what if you could knock off 10 of those 2-minute, tasks and then halve your list, for example?
yeah,
So that just removes cognitive strain as it is just to work out well, where
absolutely.
you're up to and, how you're going to close it off.
Totally. So you've kind of segued us into item number two, which is park what you can't finish so that it stops haunting you. And I did just sort of mention this right at the end, like delegate that thing, get it out of your head because really this is the magic move. So create a parking lot, whether it's post-it notes or a big art pad or your brown paper, an app if you like. I personally like to get it onto paper because I find that when I make notes in my iPad for this kind of thing, once you close it, it's sort of you can't see it. So I prefer to get it on post-it notes or paper. You leave it in the office with the door shut over Christmas, don't get me wrong, but you want to get it all out. So what's that parking lot, the task that you haven't finished? What your next action is. And this is really important. And we're going to talk a little bit soon about why it's so important to get your next actions down. Get down in that parking lot, like who owns it, who owns that task, and give it a date. When are you going to revisit it? Because if it's not scheduled, it's not parked, and it's just postponed anxiety. And I don't know about you,
Yeah.
but just no, just want a nice calm pajama day.
So I'm just having a giggle to myself, thinking about the mirror in your office with all the sticky notes on it, with all the projects on it. So, so they're parked on the wall, the mirror.
I think that anyone that knows me personally will not even question how many post-it notes are on my little mirror in my office because yeah, you're right. I do have a lot of projects and I'm a generator and that's how I enjoy to work and I enjoy having a lot of projects on the go, but I also enjoy taking time off. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, just going to say, just before we hit number three, I was just going to say that I talk about corporate a lot because I spent a lot of my years in there.
Yeah.
But one of the things was that the businesses that I was running were so huge that many of the things that need to happen and as it was the labor you had available, you couldn't actually do all these things in one go on that day, and so you had to do them like chunk by chunk.
Yeah.
So learning to park things was important because it
Yeah.
takes up too much cognitive load. And the other thing it does is it takes you away from things you're supposed to be doing during the day as well. So yes, we're talking about Christmas right now, but it's also like something good to learn as you go during the year too. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, love it.
Number three though.
Yeah, let's jump into the last piece.
Yeah, yeah. I think this is actually really good. And I mean, hey, I think that they're all really good, but this one from a planning perspective
Mhm.
is really cool. So that's remove the friction for January.
Yeah.
So getting restarted again.
Yeah, because I think it's fine to close the loops, but if you're not prepared for the next step, then that creates its own anxiety or that own mental load.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you have all those projects there, you don't want to walk back into January and just go, "Oh my god, here's all these projects again," and
Oh, where do I
they're just
start?
like they've all just like compounded back on top of you. Yeah, and then
Totally.
all that rest you just had, you just kind of wiped out.
Yeah, I have heard this from people before. It's like they walk into the office and go, "Oh my god, like where do I even begin?" And I remember, so one of the things that we run every January is the $1 million plan. It's the very first training we run for our clients in January every single year, because it's about really setting yourself up and knowing what needs to be done so you don't have that, oh my god, where am I going, what am I doing, and it's having that plan in place. So this is what we're talking about. What can you set yourself up, like imagine that you're your own assistant, and what can you set up? So what does that first working day map look like? Even loosely, just, what are a couple of things that you need to deal with? Do you have your calendar blocks for your deep work already there? Even things like, do you have your meal plan for your first week back or 3 days back? Have you got groceries in the fridge so you don't, just get started and then think, oh, I've got to go get groceries, or I need to stop and cook a meal or whatever? And what are the top three outcomes for January? Just written in a very short bullet point, because your future you, future January you, doesn't need a full strategy, but you do need to start with a clean runway.
Yeah, that's really cool. Love that. I think that's like as well, with the planning for January, or even just enough to get you through like the first couple of weeks. It's the same principle as like Steve Jobs and his black skivvy.
Yeah,
It's take away as many of those extra decisions that you need to be doing so that you can like come back, ease into it and flow with it rather than coming back in utter chaos and just chaos doesn't get you anywhere. So,
totally,
so if you can come
totally.
back and roll into it and just flow in alignment, I should have said, you'll start getting back into it and you'll start moving way quicker than you would if you just came back and went, oh my god, here's like 10 projects. So
Absolutely. And I think most people that are listening to this either have finished for the year or they know exactly when they're finishing. But if you haven't, decide your shutdown time now. Because when you're in a I'll just see how I feel kind of vibe, you'll work straight through. Like you won't have it. So create your own boundary. And then create that out of office boundary. Put your out of office reply on your email, close your office door. Gosh, delete social media apps off your phone, even if you need to, just for the holiday break, and define what rest actually looks like for you. We said for me, it's pajama day, reading, doing. Sweet FA. Let's not lie. I'm actually happy to be a sloth, where you hate that. That stresses you out even more. You'd rather be
yeah,
tinkering around.
yeah.
So define what it looks like so that,
But I'm not totally crazy. Some people like going running. So-
ugh,
no,
oh
no
my
running.
God. I used to have a joke with my
Just saying they like it, but
personal training clients that the only way I'm going to run is if I had like a little cap with like a little fishing hook off the front with like a little cupcake, like I was running towards the cupcake. That's the only way I would run. Oh my
oh, the
goodness.
visuals so good.
I'm hopeless, aren't I?
So there was one more thing I wanted to mention is that you've got to be understanding. I know you're going to get to this in a minute, but I just want to say it's okay to switch off.
It's not only okay, it's mandatory.
Yeah. It's you don't have to be on 24/7 thinking about what's going on. Like that's not the way life is.
Totally.
It's time to switch off.
You're there for your clients, caring for them all during the year. Not only do your clients need time off, but you need the time off so you can fully show up for them again in January. You taking time out is really good for your clients too. So create this like here's your mini checklist. So ask yourself, my brain is clear because I've closed these loops and I've parked these tasks, projects. My calendar is safe because I know exactly when I'm back, and my body can relax because I'm not negotiating with myself. So really lean into those things, tick off those items, and remember that rest is a strategy. It's not a reward. It's a strategy. And you don't have a rest because you have or haven't earned it. It's part of being human and looking after yourself. So take 20 minutes after this episode and close one loop, park what you need to, set up one thing for January, and then just close the office door, close it off, go and have some me time, spend time with your family, go shopping if you're like me and leave everything till Christmas Eve. Whatever it is that you want to do, go and look after you, spend time doing what makes you happy.
I want to reiterate the importance of resting and recovering, not only for yourself, but so you can show up strong for yourself again in 2026 and for your clients. That's really, really crucial that you rest so you can show up for them. You can be there for them and you can support them in your best. A burnt out, tired coach, you're not showing up for your clients. You're kidding yourself. We can wear that badge of honor when I did 24 hours straight or whatever. It doesn't, that's a lot of rubbish.
Yeah.
If you're tired, your cognitive power isn't there. You could be missing things. You could be, missing helping your clients in the best possible way. So this is actually really important that you do this. So I'm going to say it's mandatory.
There, Leon has said it. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. Leon and I both wish you a very, very Merry Christmas. Have a lovely time with your friends, family. Stay safe. Eat all the things. Eat the cheese. Drink the wine. Have a fabulous Christmas. And we will see you next week for another episode of Business Growth Lab. Ciao for now.